Hi, everybody, and welcome back to On the DL. Hope everyone is feeling good, doing well, and I really think you're going to enjoy, I know you're going to enjoy our episode today. One of my favorite people is on. Karin Shay is here. I've known Karin a very long time, fair to say, since we were kids, teens. I've always had a soft spot for Karin because she's just the real deal, good person, always doing the right thing, such a nice person, and she continues to be that way. Now, having said that, it's one of the reasons why I wanted her on the show so badly. But I really wanted Karin here because she speaks from the heart and she speaks authentically and she has a story to share, and I know it will make a difference. So welcome, Karin.
Thank you. Thank you, Dana. Thank you so much for that lovely intro. I really appreciate it. That's so kind. Thank you.
How are you doing?
Right now I'm doing as best as I can in a lockdown situation with 4 boys at home and a dog and homeschooling and working. But you know what? I'm doing a lot of work in support of breast cancer, and that I'm so passionate about it that it's not really work for me. It's a pleasure to help the cause.
So I'm going to read a little bit of your bio because I want everyone to know who you are and what you're doing here today. Okay. So let's just get started. Who is Karin Shay? Okay. So Karin is a philanthropist and a wellness advocate. She's the director of philanthropic initiatives at Equinox Canada. Karin is no stranger to raising money for meaningful causes. After losing her mother to cancer, Karin co-founded Fit and Fash, a charity organization that raises awareness and funds to fight breast cancer through hosting fitness and fashion events. Karin is currently a top 19% influencer in the fitness community. So there's so much we want to talk about. But first, I want to talk about your breast cancer initiative that is happening right now.
Amazing. I'm so happy to talk about it. Yeah. So there is an exciting initiative happening right now. This sweatshirt, which is so cute and cozy, Dana, you're wearing it, looks so good on you.
I love it.
Is for sale. I created the sweatshirt in partnership with Diamond and Sweatshirts because I was thinking of a way to reach out to the community, to reach out to people, to touch everyone in a meaningful kind of way and raise money for breast cancer. And so I thought, people love sweatshirts, like especially now in lockdown, but I can't go wrong with sweatshirts. So what kind of sweatshirt? The pink heart is customized in representation of breast cancer. We have full hearts. We are grateful for every donation. We want to do good. It represents so many things, the pink heart. I'm all about giving back and I'm all about helping others. And that's what I'm trying to do right now.
So the Think Pink initiative is the sweatshirt, and people can buy it where?
They can buy it at diamondsandsweatshirts.com under the sweatshirt category, Project Think Pink. It's available there. So yes, that is definitely part of the initiative. There's 2 parts of this initiative, the Think Pink initiative. One is the sweatshirts, and the second is educating women. So on May 26th, next week, we are hosting a live IG with Victoria Radford and Mount Sinai Hospital. I thought that would be a fun idea for women to get some beauty and some health combined to make it interesting. So we're teaching women how to become breast healthy. What does that mean? I mean, I have lots of girlfriends, you have lots of girlfriends. What are we doing? We should be aware of the risk factors, learning about screening and diagnosis, what to look out for. I think that it's a topic of conversation where a lot of questions can be asked, and we're prepared to answer your questions on this live IG. So we want to educate women, give them a platform to chat. We were going to do it via Zoom, but I think that doing it a live IG, we can see the questions coming in, it's interactive, and that's happening next week. So I'm really excited about that as well.
So that's on May 26th.
Yeah.
And at what time and on what IG?
So it's at 2 o'clock, 2 to 3, and it's on Victoria Radford. So at Victoria Radford is IG. And I will be pushing it on my social and our Fit and Fast social. So people can register there. There's a link there. The link will take you, there is no fee to register. I just want to make that clear. You register And if you want to give a donation, you're more than welcome to give a donation. But it's really, I really wanted just to make an educational, fun event for women, moms, everyone's been in lockdown. Like, let's learn, let's have some fun. And that's what I wanted to do.
So what do you say to people, Kara, when I mean, we're talking about breast cancer and people will be listening to this, and I'm just going to throw it out there. So what do you say when people say, well, breast cancer is not a death sentence anymore?
Right.
What do you say to that?
I don't think like that, because I've had I've lost my mother to breast cancer. So, and I just want to, I need a moment to honor her and say she was probably the strongest, most dynamic, energetic woman I've ever known, with a heart of gold. I lost her to this disease. She fought like a soldier. She was amazing for 6 years. They thought she was going to live for 3 months, and she fought it for 6 years. I was with her on the entire journey through every chemo and everything. And I have seen what this disease can do to women. I have seen a vibrant, beautiful woman from that state going into a walker, going into can't move, going into the saddest, it's the saddest loss. And I saw her deteriorate basically into a different person. So this touches my heart, and I do not want to see this. I want to do whatever I can to prevent this from happening to anybody else. And I'm on a mission basically to do that, to help others, because I believe in that. And I believe that if we all band together, we can make a difference.
I've heard you say this, and I've read you write this, that women helping other women can make a massive difference, particularly in this issue.
Absolutely. Not only in terms of like fundraising and raising money, of course, that's an important part. Spirit, mental health, united, women united. We can all unite about this. We all understand it. And it affects 1 in 8 women. Mm-hmm. So there's so many women touched by this. And I think that's why the educational part is important, to learn more about it. So yes, that's very true.
So let's talk about your mom. I mean, I met your mom a couple of times. Irit was absolutely magnificent. And she certainly had a light around her. I mean, you felt her energy the moment you walked into a room. So I do want to honor your mom. I want to talk about your mom. Tell me a little bit about her journey, because you said it was a 6-year battle. I remember when I had heard that your mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I mean, like everybody, when you hear that somebody's mom is sick, you're just taken aback. But I was like, wow, you read, like, oh my God, was my first reaction. But then 3 months went by, a year went by, a couple of years went by. And did you feel at some point, wow, my mom is out of the woods, like she's going to beat this?
Yeah. Yeah, she was out of the woods. There was a point, probably 3 years into it, she went into remission. We actually were so excited. We thought she was out of the woods. We thought it was through the chemo and stuff, it wasn't in her system anymore. She was doing better, but then it came back. And so thank you for honoring my mom. And I am so grateful for this platform to talk about her for just a few minutes.
Please.
What I really want to share is that this woman who basically came to Canada, not speaking English, not having any friends, not knowing anyone, her priority was to provide for her family. At that time, it was just me, my dad, and then she has 5 kids. But at the time, it's just 3 of us. She opened a store on Bloor Street. She worked 7 days a week in her heels, dressed up, gorgeous, vibrant, loved to sell, loved to interact with people, learn the language from her customers. So she devoted her life to work. Her family was always top priority. But what she also did is she found time to give back. And that is what I am carrying on. And she was on the board of Sick Kids Hospital. She brought David Foster here with her David Foster event, Bill Clinton, celebrities. She was a dynamo. She was a hustler. And she did it from the heart, and it came from such a good place. And she was such a shining light and such a kind soul and so loving, such a loving mother, and my best friend. I literally spoke to her like 1,000 times a day. I'm sure a lot of people out there have that type of relationship with their moms, and I don't take any day for granted. I miss her so deeply, but all I can do right now is try to do good with my situation without her. And when I do things like this, it makes me feel like I'm closer to her. And I know that she would be proud, and I feel like she's still with me. So I'm going to continue doing this type of work.
And can you share with us, when did Irit pass?
She passed 4 years ago. And it seems like just yesterday. It's actually all blur. And actually, to be quite honest, I may even have, like, I blocked so much out from the pain of this. And that actually is part of my fitness and my running, because when I run, and I run a lot, that is therapy for me, because it allows me to be in a quiet space and think and run and breathe and all that stuff. And that's when I started running. When my mom was diagnosed with cancer, it triggered me to start running, and which led me to run marathons to raise money for cancer. And that was probably now around 6-7 years ago. Yeah.
Wow. And you are still an avid runner.
I'm an avid runner, and my life is, I look at fitness as a lifestyle. I'm very passionate about my fitness. I work at Equinox Fitness. I create events to get people active, but in terms of creating events, I also always add I try to add philanthropy to it to raise money for the cause, if I can, if it makes sense, of course. But yeah, I'm very passionate about fitness and helping people stay active, because obviously we all know if you're healthy and stay active, you can have a better life.
So what do you think, I mean, you went through this journey with your mom. And so what do you feel, maybe you can speak to this personally, what do you feel I don't want to say the shame, but there's still this stigma around breast cancer. And what do you think, why do you think that still exists? I mean, for me, I was talking about this a few minutes ago, and I said, I feel like it's still because breasts are still so highly sexualized that's becomes, oh my God, that's a sexual part of our body. And so for it to be ravaged with cancer, there's a shame to that.
Yeah. And I touched on that, a part of femininity and being a woman. I agree. I find it, I speak to a lot of women. It's a very sensitive topic. It's a very private topic, but I've seen, for example, my mother losing her breast and still being vibrant and beautiful and feeling beautiful. And I think that we should address that and change it, because there is no need to hide it and to keep it private. I feel like it should be out there and spoken about, and women should feel empowered. And you can still be beautiful, beautiful and strong, and have a vibrant life.
Yes, with or without your breasts.
That's right.
I'll share with you my two experiences with breast cancer. So my grandmother had breast cancer, and of course, those years it was like breast cancer. Like, we didn't even know. No one even talked about it. No one even said that's what she had, but we knew she had a single mastectomy, which was at the time there was no reconstruction. It was just almost like, I almost felt in a way that she was so shamed by it. She felt almost deformed by it. Like there was nothing for her to lose that. I guess one part of her body was flattened and one wasn't.
Right.
She really changed after that. It was very devastating. And I was horrified. I was horrified as a little girl. I just didn't understand it. And nobody talked about it. My mother didn't talk about it with me.
Right.
I didn't know who to talk about it to or with. It was just one of those things that you just don't talk about. But yet I had a grandmother who was there without breast.
Right.
Mind-boggling when you think how far we have come from generation to generation talking about this.
So true. So true. And I'm surrounded by so many women who have gone through this or have someone that they love gone through them. I think that it's totally changing, and women are more comfortable talking about it. And there's a lot of new ads empowering women to build confidence, which is so nice, because there's reassurance on another level, right?
And I have two older sisters, And my middle sister is a breast cancer survivor. We are very lucky that she
Wow.
survived,
Amazing.
thank God. But she went through her hell and had a double mastectomy and many other surgeries to follow. And again, also horrifying, absolutely horrifying.
Right.
But this leads me to my next part of my conversation with you, why I'm sharing this. There was consideration and conversation with myself and my older sister and my mother about mastectomy. And I thought maybe this is something I need to consider. I saw what she was going through. I remember what my grandmother went through, and I was petrified, absolutely
Right.
petrified.
I'm sure. I didn't even
Having,
know that, obviously.
yeah,
Yeah. Thank you for opening up about that.
Of course, we're on the DL, we share.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I was tested for the BRCA1 and 2 gene and came back negative, as did my eldest sister. And so decisions were made. And so we carry on. And of course, I do my self tests, and lucky for me, my husband's a doctor. He will, he does tests all the time. And so that's where I leave it with my own personal journey with breast cancer, notwithstanding. I will always be aware of it because it's in my family. But for you, you took that to the next level. And I remember I also interviewed Karen, just to let everyone know, I interviewed Karen for a news report that I did several years ago. And you were open about recovering. And not only were you just recovering, you like literally were recovering, like you weren't really supposed to be moving. You weren't supposed to be exercising.
Right.
But you were, and you did for me because we were doing a story on fitness, because you're that passionate about the story we're doing on fitness, but you're also passionate about health and the journey that you were on. So perhaps you can share why you made that choice and what your journey was like for you.
I think that to help others to talk about it. Now on some ways, I'm very comfortable talking. And like you said, there's certain things that are so private, but if it's going to help other women and help other women understand that they could be at risk and to get checked and that you can be okay. And even after surgery, you can be okay and have a full life, then I want them to know that. And my life is very full. And I believe in looking at the silver lining. And the silver lining is, yes, I've gone through a lot. I've lost my mother to breast cancer. I was high risk at breast cancer. But what came out of it was me turning my life around from living in a corporate environment. I worked at CTV, Bell Media, and sales and marketing for 15 years. I was moving up the corporate ladder more and more. But then I realized, is that really how I want to spend my time? Behind a desk and doing that? It's great for some people. For me, my passion was fitness and feeling strong and empowered, and health was so important. Seeing my mother deteriorate with her health, that I changed my entire world. And I shifted all my energy to fitness, helping people, showing them fitness equipment, educating. I'm now building a new site called Shay Fit, and I'm going to be coaching, nutrition coaching, fitness coaching, and helping others, because I'm constantly asked questions and I want to be able to help other people become healthy and lead healthy lifestyles.
What did people ask you around breast cancer?
One of the big questions I get is it a death sentence? Is it a death sentence? And the answer to that question is no, it is not a death sentence. And obviously it's individualized and everybody's different. But I also make it a very top important point to share that a lot of it is mental and psychological. I know with my mom, she was given a short window to live, and she was tough mentally and mentally pushed through and had a positive outlook, and it actually extended her life. And she had a good life. She had a good additional 6 years. And I want people to know that it's not a death sentence.
That's it's a crazy thing to be asked, especially, with your mom passing like that, not crazy. I mean, I asked you that because that's what I hear people say that all the time.
Right.
And I'll say, no, my sister lived and she's living a good life now.
And when you say
her
that,
journey. Yeah.
And Dana, when you just shared that with me, because I didn't know that, I think that's incredible. And I feel so blessed and I'm so happy to hear that. And people should know that, like, what happened to your sister is common and that happens a lot. And it doesn't have to be, it's not a death sentence, but that's why I want to educate people, because another point I'd like to make is my mom was caught off guard. When she was dying, she woke up one day out of the blue feeling fine, and there was bleeding coming out of her nipple. And I'm sorry to get a little bit graphic.
No, here, please. I appreciate it.
She's like, what is this? Like, what is this? And knowing Irit, she got herself down to the hospital in like 10 minutes. And it was at that visit, it was advanced breast cancer. And it just happened like overnight. It was building inside of her and she was diagnosed with advanced breast cancer. And our whole world, I had just had my fourth son 2 weeks prior to that. I remember getting the call, having my fourth son, a little baby, rushing over to my mom's house. And like another week later, every Tuesday I'm at the hospital with my baby during her chemos. I mean, my whole world was like rocked. And my best friend seeing this. And yeah, so what I want to say on that note is screening, education, being aware, talking to your girlfriends. Like, you have to be your own advocate. I know that we have an amazing healthcare system, but I really believe that women need to check themselves, ask questions, and be their own advocate and look after themselves.
Women, get your arms up, get your hands under in your armpits and start massaging your boobs. Okay? There is nothing wrong with it. There is nothing wrong. It is not sexual. If you want to make it sexual, have fun. But you know what? No, I mean it. Like, whatever it takes to get you through, do it, because it could save your life. My sister did find that very small lump. It was very small, and it did save her life. It saved her life. I'm so grateful that you're telling me about your mom's experience, because I have not heard about blood before. I've heard of discharge, but not blood. And so that is another warning sign that I think people need to hear, and people don't say out loud enough.
Right.
But I do want to get back to this idea of the idea that women who choose to have a mastectomy, who just say, I have children, I am high risk,
right,
and I need to take charge of my life,
right.
And I know three women who have gone through with a double mastectomy and did not tell anyone.
Right.
One in particular who went through a really, really hard time, and didn't talk about it. And I thought to myself, well, why wouldn't you tell someone or a few people, or deal with it? Like, what do you think the shame is of that? If I had to make the decision and I would have been positive with the Barack gene, it would have come. It wouldn't have, it just not even, it wouldn't even dawn on me. You know, I have children, I have a life, and it just, but that's my decision. That doesn't mean that's everyone's decision.
You know what? This is life. There's nothing perfect at any time. We all go through different stages, and we have to make the best out of things that happen to us. And that is exactly what I'm plowing through and trying to do every day. Like, be grateful that I'm living, be grateful I'm alive, be grateful for my health, and try to keep my health intact as best I can.
So you have boys. Of course, we know through research that it can be passed down from, it can skip a generation. The gene can get from generation to generation. I mean, there's still so much research around gene therapy and gene research right now. You have 4 boys. Do you have sisters?
Yes, I do. I have 3 sisters.
Do they have children?
They have children, yes. 2 of them have daughters.
Okay.
So yes, so we're all very aware and on top of it. One of my youngest sisters works at Mount Sinai Hospital in the foundation office as well, and she's also made her career to help other women and help fight breast cancer as well. Her name is Romy. She's amazing. All my sisters are amazing, and we all honor our mom in different ways. It's you learn a lot when you lose someone that you love, obviously. And so we try to take away from what we've learned and make the best out of things.
What in parting, what do you want women, even men who are listening, to know about our breasts?
I want them to love their breasts. I want them to feel good about their breasts. I want them to check their breasts. I want them to be educated about self-checking, prevention, how nutrition. I would love to see people take more active role in eating healthier. Diet is so important. Everyday diet. Of course, it's easy to have snacks and but trying to stay as healthy as possible is so important. And so I want people just to be aware and educated. That's all, because prevention can be easy. Like you said, it could be a lump that you spot that you're preventing an awful thing from happening to you. So please check yourselves. Please be an advocate for yourself. Don't be shy to ask questions ever, because it's up to each person to really speak up and have a voice, and every voice matters.
Karin, thank you so much. I'm grateful that you came on the deal and talked about your journey, which I know is so highly personal, but I know that you're doing such extraordinary work around breast cancer awareness. And I hope everybody logs on to Instagram on May 26th at 2 p.m. at Radford Beauty or at Fit and Fash. Did I say Fat and Fish? I just said Fat and Fish. I don't know what Fat and Fish is, but I don't think they go together. Fit and Fat. Fit and Fash. Wow, it's a tongue twister. And I do want to just say this sweatshirt is the coziest sweatshirt I've ever had. I love it. It's on all the time now. It's fantastic. So at Diamonds and Sweatshirts. Correct.com. And where else can people connect with you? Because I know you are easily accessible, and I think people are going to want to reach out, want to talk to you about.
Sure. You can send me a DM at Karin Shay 4, the number 4 on Instagram. And Karen, my real name is actually Karin, but anyways, we'll just go with the Canadian version. So it's Karin, Karin Shay 4, or Fit and Fash for a Cause, or I'm going to be launching a website soon and helping people stay active. So K Shay Fit will be the website. You can check me out there.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And be well, stay well. And I love talking with you. Thank you so much, Karin.
Right back at you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for all of the work that you do.
Thank you so much, Dina.
Thanks, everybody.